Hey guys, what's going on? Druzy here, back again with another South Park Phone Destroyer video and another video about the most recent updates that have been announced here coming forward in the next season that's going to be starting here next week, as the season will end here at the end of the month, and then we'll start early next month here in July. Also, there's going to be some details on the weekend event that's going to be happening this week, and then I have some my thoughts and feelings on one other topic real quick before we end the video. So three main things we're going to talk about today, but of course the main thing is going to be the focus on the balance changes that have been announced. We did have some speculation last week, some leaked information that I discussed in last week's episode on this topic, but now we have the actual information. So if you guys are looking for that, of course, I will talk about that and post a link down below in the description for this forum post if you want to look at it yourself and read over it. So this weekend is the Space Warrior event. Essentially what it is, it's a team event where you collect token items to then get packs and things like that. Similar tier point structure as there have been before. 1250 is the solo reward amount, and then 30,000 is the team reward. This one, as it reads, it says this weekend rewards will be exclusively to the sci-fi theme. So I would assume that would mean that all of the stuff that you will get, both materials, both cards, are only going to be sci-fi only themed cards. This could be interesting if this is what it actually is going to be. I guess we'll obviously find out here tomorrow when most likely it will launch. So what do you guys think of that? Do you think it's okay to have just a one theme focused event? I mean, this one is featuring Space Warrior token. Does that mean you have higher chances of getting Space Warrior token? I don't know the logistics of all this, of what it means. Of course, the development team will have their weekly live stream on Friday, which I'm sure they will answer all those questions. But by then, we'll already know the answers because the event should start before that live stream anyways. So, we'll just see going forward. And what do you guys think of that? Solo focus on one thing. There's Space Warrior token down there. There's a developer live stream we already talked about. We also have some good news on the card release front. As we mentioned previously, we want to be phasing cards into circulation much more quickly than in the past. In that vein, when the event goes live, we will be adding Bounty Hunter Kyle to PvP packs and PvP lockers. Also, Robo Baby will now be at full release. It means she's coming to all packs. So that means you could have a higher chance of getting Robo Baby now in this event, most likely, and in all other types of stuff. So thought I would announce the card release update. But here's the meat and potatoes of this episode, is the focus on the balance changes, guys. Again, we leaked primarily fantasy focus. There are fantasy buffs, debuffs, and sci-fi debuffs. So far, from what I've read, and I did look at this before I made this episode, doesn't look to be quite as bad as we originally thought. But we're going to start with Stan the Great. Stan the Great's charge ability attack debuff will be going from minus 30 to minus 21 at level 1, and minus 150 to minus 104 at level 7, resulting in around a 30% reduction. Based on what it looks like with the numbers, it's maybe a little higher than 30%. Not like that's a huge deal, around 32, 33%, probably more realistic numbers-wise, but this is less than what we originally thought at 50% in the leaked information, so that's at least some positive note that we're getting a 20% buff, essentially, to what we originally thought Stan the Great was going to get. But he definitely needed a nerf, no question here. He's one of the most widely used cards in the game. For good reason, he's a solid card and was the best stand in the game, in my opinion. Now he's going to take a step back. It's not going to decimate him. I still think he's probably better than Poseidon Stan in this instant. Maybe Poseidon Stan might have just mildly jumped him a little bit. But, I mean, Stan of Many Moons, in my opinion, now probably is the best Stan with this debuff to Stan the Great. But what do you guys think? He's a common card, so he's still going to be viable, I think. I don't think it's going to completely wipe him away, but you're going to see some step back from Stan the Great's usefulness, which most likely means that Red Lynx will probably have to buff him at some point. Eventually, again, he'll probably get 10 or 15% back of this, down to be down to 20% roughly, probably within 4 to 6 months. And I will hope that I am right in this regard, and then I can go back to this video and say, hey, guess what? Druzy was right for once. Princess Kenny. Total Death Wish changed from 10 seconds to 5-second duration. We did discuss this in the leaked information. This upheld. But as you see, no change to Paladin Butters. So that's good to see, guys. They removed the +3 energy, or the add 1 to energy to make him a 3 cost. So at least that's a positive to take away from this, that only Princess Kenny and Stan the Great are getting the nerfs, at least for fantasy, from what we've read thus far. Poison radius effect has been reduced from 3 to 2.7. We'll see if this is enough. I mean, definitely needed to lower the range, or the fact that poison took up 3/4 of the damn screen. with a card spell. I mean, this is going to nerf it slightly, but I don't think this is like a huge, ginormous nerf to where now all of a sudden Poison's not going to be played. Poison's definitely going to be played. It's one of the better spell cards in the entire game. So I don't think this really does a whole lot to stop Poison play. Maybe we just have to be smarter with its placement. That's really about it with this. Alien Queen Red, Warcry damage per second has been reduced from 5 to 4 at level 1 and 50 to 40 at level 7, a 20% reduction. Now, one of the big things, I think, with Alien Queen Red, they messed up here, Red Links. I think you don't need to necessarily reduce the damage output. Don't make it permanent. That was what you should have most likely probably done in this instance with Alien Queen Red. I think that for her 5 cost value, I don't really think that the Warcry damage was really overwhelming. It was overwhelming at the fact that you just couldn't get rid of the dang thing unless you had Purify or Shaman Token. So now you've just made it to where it's 20% less strong, but it's still permanent. So what do you guys think of Alien Queen Red? Again, that's what my opinion of what they should have done here. I mean, the reductions, it helps with the fact that it's still permanent, but I think it should have not been permanent. I think that's what it should have been instead. Mecha Timmy, some speculation that he was going to get nerfed. This is a mild one. I don't even know if you want to really call this much of a nerf. Mecha Timmy has had his knockback reduced by 25%. He will no longer push units back as far per attack. So he did have a noticeable knockback to certain units and whatnot, which helped his survivability, as him being the best legendary card in the game and the most widely used for good reason. He's still an extremely strong card. So now he's not going to push quite as far, but he's still going to be just as good. Mecha Timmy's not really getting a lot of effect here. Just a mild tweak to his survivability is going to go down slightly, but most playing behind a tank card anyways, so in reality I don't really think this does a whole lot to hurt Mecha Timmy, and he's going to stay up top as the best legendary in the game. Pope Mecha and Catapult increase total unit weight and makes them less prone to knockbacks from other units, attacks, and the new kid blast. So they're not going to be moved around quite as much or basically stopped from being able to attack. And that's kind of good because especially with all 3 of these Timmys, they have very long cast times as far as for their basic attacks. I mean, I think it's 4 seconds or 4.2 seconds, something like that. So, you know, this just makes them be able to attack more readily, I guess, by not being able to be pushed back quite as easily. Dark Mage Craig, this one's kind of surprising that he gets this buff, but I'm kind of interested to see what you guys think. I don't play Dark Mage Craig much, so I'm not sure how I necessarily feel about this. Decrease the spawn time from roughly minus 2.8 seconds to minus 1.7 seconds to make the entire Warcry animation happen more quickly. That's probably useful. It did seem to take quite a bit of time. Adjust the Warcry ability to also affect nearby units, similar to how Marine Craig functions. So, and increase the total Warcry time from 5 to 6 seconds of duration. So it gets 1 second buff to duration. He has the effect of Marine Craig with his Warcry, which, remember, reduces the enemy damage of the new kid and now any units around him for 6 seconds. So what do you guys think of Dark Mage Craig? I think this really will put him more in the limelight, especially the fact that he has an AoE basic attack is pretty solid. I think that was a lot of the upside that people were saying about Dark Mage Craig, but very much agree with everybody that was saying that his Warcry was terrible, because it was. And now this, but does this make it good? I think it makes it better. I don't think it makes it great, but I definitely like the similarity to Dark Mage Craig functionality with affecting all units around the enemy new kid. So this will be interesting. What do you guys think of Dark Mage Craig? Again, I don't really play him, so I don't think this is going to make me want to play him more, but I definitely think you'll see him more in circulation here going forward. But there's now, now with, Blood Elf Bebe is going to be running rampant in the fantasy ranged cards. I don't know if this is going to be enough to put him now really on the map to be used as a fantasy range card with, Catapult Timmy and now Blood Elf Bebe, who are both very solid range cards for the fantasy theme. But yeah, again, interesting. Amazingly Randy. Attack range increase from 3 to 4. Increase health from 120 to 169 at level 1. From 421 to 595 at level 7. So he gets another buff. Amazingly Randy being more amazing. Because, he was... When they buffed all the Randys, I don't think he got enough. The only one that really got a good buff from all the Randys so far was just... Sexy Nun Randy. So now they're trying to buff at least 2 of these Randys, and we'll talk about the other one here in a second, to try to put them a little bit closer to what Sexy Nun Randy does. So, what do you think of Amazingly Randy? I still don't think, again, this is going to put him on the map because there's still 2 better range cards in the same theme than him. So again, we'll see. Chicken Coop spawn rate decreased from 5 seconds to 3.5 seconds. So... yeah, that's a decrease in spawn rate, which would mean that they would come out faster. So that's a buff, I guess, to Chicken Coop. Still not going to make Chicken Coop highly playable, I don't think. Even with the buff to Cox, still don't think this is really going to make this that much better. So we'll see with that. Kyle the Drow Elves decreased the amount of time to fully charge from 15 seconds to 12, so 3-second decrease in his charge ability, which is kind of nice. He does have a pretty underrated charge ability, like I've said in other videos that I've done with talking about Kyle the Drow Elves, so this could be interesting to see if this is going to get him to see more play. Yet again, still better range options in this theme, but this could be interesting, again, with the invincibility with him. So we'll see how that works out. Shield Maiden Wendy needed a buff ridiculously badly. Like this, I don't know if this is enough, but she definitely needed something, and this is a start, at least in the right direction for her. Decrease the amount of time to fully charge from 20 seconds to 15 seconds. That was insane. It's so good that that went down. Maybe need a little bit more, in my opinion. She is a legendary card. She never felt that way. Now, maybe a little bit closer to that mark. Increased charge power duration from 3 to 3.5 seconds. Probably should have been more than just a half second, in my opinion, but, you know, we'll see how well that helps her or doesn't do much of anything. Increased her health. This was the big one that needed. I think she needed more than this. Just a 48 more health from level 1, from 240 to 288, and then 718 to 862. There are still fighter cards that have more health than her. I mean, it puts her now better on pace, but like, I believe Witch Doctor Token still has higher health than she would at level 7. And again, who's ever going to get a legendary to level 7 within the first year of this game being out? I don't think very many people are going to do that. So I don't think you're ever going to see her level 7, at least not for a significant amount of time. So don't worry about this level 7 stats for a legendary card in all reality. But I think this, again, helps Shield Maiden Wendy. It's still not enough, in my opinion. She needed more. I think it should have been maybe 3 to 4.5 or 4 seconds for her charge ability. The decrease to her full charge time is fine, and then she needed more health. She needed more than just 48 more health. I think you should have given her, I don't know, maybe 65 more health. But again, let me know down below what you guys think of that. Awesemo 4000, who is still the worst Cartman. This is not enough for him. This helps him, but in my opinion, he's still the worst Cartman in the game. Decreased charge time from 20 to 15 seconds. That was necessary as well. Same as Shield Maiden Wendy. Increased his health from 661 to 684 from level 1. 2031 to 2393 at level 7. So he gets a little bit beefier, which is fine because that was really one of the only upsides to Awesemo 4000, because in the Silver Shields, Awesemo is great. In the Legendary Arena, you may never see him at all, especially in the top 2000. I still don't think this is going to make him more viable, in my opinion, but you might see some more play, and he may be more dangerous in the lower tiers of PvP, but in the higher tiers, I still think he's obsolete. There are at least 3 better Cartmans better than he is for the higher tiers of PvP. Marine Craig. Increase the amount of damage per second the Warcry Poison does to units hit with splash damage from 5 to 8 at level 1, 24 to 39 at level 7. So that's interesting that the splash damage from the Warcry does to the enemy units around the new kid. That's increased by 3 at level 1, up to, what, 15 more at level 7. Decrease the Warcry Poison damage to the new kid from 5 to 4 at level 1, 24 to 20 at level 7, and increases Warcry Poison duration from 5 to 6 seconds. So it does more damage to enemy units, less damage to the new kid, and lasts 1 second longer. So what do you guys think of that change for Marine Craig? Is it... I mean, Marine Craig was more of a poke and was used to just try to finish off a bar, but now this is going to make it harder for him to finish off that bar, which was his main upside of him being a unit. I mean, now it's going to do a little bit more damage to the surrounding units. I don't think this is a good move for Marine Craig. I think, in all honesty, I thought Marine Craig was pretty fine where he was. This really didn't change a whole lot, in my opinion. He's still hit and miss, used in the higher tiers of PvP. He still has viability in the game, but, I mean, with Robo Bebe, how good she is, Bounty Hunter Kyle is okay, is fairly solid. There's other range units in this theme that you could go to that I think could be a little bit better. So, you know, who knows if this is enough for him. But that's it. That's all we know about the balance changes here, guys. And in all honesty, I thought I saw something for a different Randy other than just Amazingly Randy, but I guess not. Guess my eyes deceived me. I did originally say there were going to be 2 Randy buffs because I thought there had said something about 6th element Randy, but I'm not seeing it, so I am mistaken. I apologize for stating that. The Legendary Season reset is something that you guys may want to know. Tuesday, July 3rd at approximately 8 a.m. UTC, it will reset. And when it resets, on top of the rewards earned by everyone, all users below 10,000 LSR will be removed from Legendary and placed in rank 50. So this is different now. It's not going to be based on where you stand and the top 50 stay in and the bottom 50 drop out. Now it's based on your Legendary score rating or score ranking, whatever. I don't remember what the acronym stands for, to be honest. So if you're below 10,000, then you'll get kicked out of Legendary Arena. So that's good for you guys to know if that's something you guys wanted to know. And placed at 50 rank. Players who remain at Legendary rank and those who achieve the Legendary rank within the first week of the reset will receive a Race to Legendary reward pack. So it would probably be something that we had in Season 1 with the Race to Legendary, or I'm sorry, I think it was Season 2, Season 3, whenever we had the first Race to Legendary pack. But they're not being specific on it, but the last couple of Race to Legendaries have been terrible. So, I mean, it's up to you if you deem it necessary to go jump back into Legendary Arena. And then the update will take place with a hotfix and things like that when the Legendary season ends. So all of these effects of these balance changes that we just discussed, that will happen right after this season ends and the new season begins. And remember, seasons are now month to month, so give or take, the next one will start at the beginning of August, similar to how this one went. Let's talk about one more thing real fast here before we wrap up this episode. Alright guys, last thing we're going to talk about is this. What is this? Why is this a thing? I mean, I get it. I get that Red Links who want to make money, that there's a bottom line, things like that, Ubisoft, whatever. This is ridiculous, in my opinion. This cost, this pack, I'm sure that whales will buy it. I will not buy this. I know a lot of people can't afford this. This is insane. This is what, $35 American, $40 roughly American for 4,500 cash for one pack. You get 50 Robo Babies guaranteed, 26 rares, 10 epics, 8,000 coins. You get an increased chance for a legendary card, 50% chance. A 50% chance. You could get a guaranteed legendary for $20, which is still cheaper than this, and most likely better, because the rares you're probably going to end up getting are Dougies or crappy ones that you don't care about. They're not going to be good ones. You're not going to get Enforcer Jimmies or Zen Cartmans or any of the other rare cards that you guys think are worth it. You're probably going to get terrible ones. Not good ones, and then you'll probably get 10 shitty epics to go along with it. So, I think this is dumb. I think this is the stupidest pack that I've ever seen available from Red Links or Ubisoft or whoever comes up with these decisions. That's just my opinion. I know there's been some bad ones, but this one takes the cake in my opinion. You get cards from sci-fi and legendary themes, so no other themes. If you guys want fantasy or mystical, congratulations, you ain't getting them. So you can't even get Zen Cartman. So you're just probably going to get a crap ton of crappy Dougies, Barrel Dougies or Power Fist Dougies. Those are the two from these two themes. That's probably what you'll get in probably 20 of the 26 rares. So, I don't know, you're not going to be seeing Buccaneer Babies, you're not going to be seeing good ones. Probably shitty ones. I just had to talk about this real quick. I know most of you don't watch my videos all the way through, so you probably won't even see this little rant. This is dumb. This is a stupid pack. I don't like it. There's nothing I can do about it because I don't make these decisions, so they're just going to go ahead and keep doing these ridiculous giveaways, these bundles, whatever. And I get it because, again, it's a business. They want to make money, but this is absolutely atrocious and almost an insult to the community. And I'm appalled at anyone that buys this. I mean, it's roughly $400 probably to buy all 10 of these? Who the hell is going to dump $400 into this game off these packs? I'm sure there's somebody, I'm sure Haze Demon, who I have nothing against Haze Demon. He's a great content creator, mostly does card pack openings. Haze, are you going to drop $450 on these packs? I hope not. I really don't, man. Please don't do that. But maybe you do. Who knows? But this is ridiculous. That's all I got to say about that. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. Sorry for that little rant there at the end. Let me know what you think about all the balance changes and everything that we discussed here in this video. And if there's any other balance changes you would like to see coming to the game, as maybe Red Links will check these out, and then maybe they'll make some changes. Obviously, we didn't get the Paladin Butters change, which was nice. I think that the fantasy nerfs were fine where they were at. I think we're more improved from what we originally thought was going to go down. And then some of the changes to sci-fi I think were necessary, but some buffs were not enough to some of the cards that got them, in my opinion. But again, let me know down below what you think. Thank you for the continued support, guys. You guys are amazing. And until next time, guys, my name is Druzy.